Let's clear up one of the most dangerous stereotypes floating around America today and often parroted by racists and those who hate black men in the black community. The idea that black men are inherently violent or dangerous. We've all heard the line, black men kill more white people than white people kill white people. Not only is that false, but the data proves the exact opposite. According to the Federal Bureau of Investigation in 2019, the overwhelming majority of white homicide victims are killed by white offenders. Roughly 80% of white victims are killed by other white people, while only about 15% are killed by black offenders. So no, black men do not kill more white people than white people kill white people. In fact, just like in every other racial group, most killings are intra-racial, meaning people are usually harmed by people of their own race. That's the first truth we need to drill into this conversation. Now, let's talk about black men and boys as a whole. There are about 23 million black men and boys in the United States. In 2023, there were roughly 19,800 homicide victims nationwide. If we approximate about 10,900 black homicide offenders from that total, this works out to 0.05% of black men and boys committing homicide in that particular year. That's less than 1 out of every 2,000 black men. To put it another way, 99.95% of black men and boys did not commit homicide. That's the second truth we need to keep front and center. And I know some will push back and say, yeah, but what about the reoffenders? The Bureau of Justice Statistics found that 42% of homicide arrestees had prior convictions. However, that does not mean they were prior homicide offenders. When we track actual homicide recidivism, the rates are extremely low. Among violent offenders released from federal prison, only about 1.9% were rearrested for homicide within a 5-year follow-up period. That means while some offenders had records, repeat homicide is rare. So if the numbers are this clear, why do people keep repeating the lie that black men are inherently violent? There are 3 reasons. Media amplification. The news tends to overrepresent crimes involving black offenders, making rare events feel common. Number 2, political unity. Politicians use fear narratives to justify tough on crime policies that disproportionately target black men. And number 3, historical framing. From slavery to Jim Crow to the super predator myth of the 1990s.
They are not just gangs of kids anymore. They are often the kinds of kids that are called super predators.
America has recycled the same stereotype to control perception. The truth doesn't spread because fear sells, and honesty doesn't serve those in power. So let's be clear. Out of the 23 million black men and boys, 1 in 2,000 might commit homicide in a given year. That means that 1,999 out of 2,000 are law-abiding fathers, workers, sons, students, and neighbors. And to summarize this point, white-on-white killings are more common than black-on-white killings. The stereotype paints black men as the face of violence, but the math shows the overwhelming majority of us are simply living our lives in peace. It's time to stop letting fear-mongering and cherry-pick statistics define black men. The reality is that homicide is tragic, but rare. And when we zoom out, the numbers prove that black men are not the monster society tries to make us out to be. And remember this, 0.05% is not a majority. It's not even 1%. It's a fraction so small, it disappears next to the full picture of 23 million black men in this country. That's the truth. And that's the narrative we need to put into people's heads, loudly, clearly, and unapologetically.